Academy of Art University's Urban Nights update is next. Coming up, reactions continuing to pour in after Sunday's presidential debate.
And we'll take you to the Bay Area school that hosted special visitor Colin Kaepernick.
It's showdown time between Kanye West and the National Football League.
And the dating app that helps you identify potential dates who are nearby. All of that and more next on Urban Nights Update. Hi there, thanks for joining us here at the Academy of Art University's Urban Nights Update. Wynton Pettis is joining me. I'm Anastasia Hansen. No more official support for presidential candidate Donald Trump. That's the decision from House Speaker Paul Ryan, who made the announcement after a conference call with Republican leaders. After Sunday's debate, Speaker Ryan told GOP members of Congress that they should do what's necessary to win office, regardless of supporting Trump or not. Trump's reaction? He immediately tweeted, Paul Ryan should spend more time on balancing the budget, jobs, and illegal immigration, and not waste his time on fighting Republican nominee. Ryan began publicly distancing himself from Trump after last week's videotape, showing Trump talking about women in a vulgar manner and bragging about touching them in appropriate ways.
Trump defended his comments as locker room banter, but professional athletes are disputing that. Many are now coming out publicly saying that those kinds of comments don't happen in their locker rooms. Miami Heat's Udonis Haslem states that he does not know what kind of locker room Trump has been in. However, WNBA Minnesota Lynx coach says Trump just shined the light on so many problems and that this just comes to show that women are not treated equally. Hall of Famer Jerry Rice believes that all lives matter. It was just August when quarterback Colin Kaepernick sat down during the national anthem. Since then, there have been a lot of controversy on whether or not he is disrespecting his country or if he is in the right for taking a stance. At the time, Jerry Rice chimed in tweeting, "All lives matter." Since then, Rice has received a lot of criticism for that and deleted his tweet eventually. He stated that he did not know about the Black Lives Matter movement when he tweeted it. Jerry Rice is rethinking his position on the movement. Not only do 49er fans love Kaepernick off the field, but they want to see him on the field as well. Kaepernick was benched for the fourth consecutive game against the Arizona Cardinals. After the loss against Arizona, it put the 49ers record at 1-4. Fans, apparently tired of their losing streak, and quarterback Blaine Gabbert began chanting, "We want Cap." There are reports that 49ers management is renegotiating Cap's contract to consider putting him back in action.
Kaepernick's protest has sparked a nationwide movement that has hit not just professional ranks, but younger athletes as well. Reporter Daniel Bodishba went to one Bay Area school that hosted the 49ers quarterback to find out the impact of that visit.
So as we know, the Colin Kaepernick protest has taken wind and people all over are following in his steps. Like it or not, it has become something to pay attention to. Colin visited the Castlemont High School football team to show them just how much he appreciates their support in his protest against the oppression of black people and people of color.
I see your courage, your confidence. And that's something that you have to be able to speak into each other as well.
After enlightening the young team, the Castlemont Knights went out there and laid on their backs with their hands up during the national anthem.
You know, that move right there is the kids also, for them to take the time out and to think about their own life and say, you know what, it's really not right what's going on right now in the world.
Since becoming the face of this movement, Colin has donated millions of dollars to many community charities.
We all want to live, be respected, and just do what we want to do.
I'm happy that the athletes are starting to get into like the big name athletes. Now we need LeBron, we need Michael Jordan to speak on it. We need all the big athletes because like athletes, they make a difference.
Many throughout the NFL have things to say about it, and Colin welcomes anyone's opinion or support.
I definitely understand where he's coming from.
But I'll defend until death your right to say it.
That flag gives you the right to do whatever you want, and I understand that.
You got to respect the flag, and you got to stand up with your teammates. It's bigger than just you.
He's got to see the impact that he has on a lot of people's lives.
As this becomes such a controversial topic, the question arises, is this ultimately creating more separation between the people in the community?
Colin has no intentions of standing for the national anthem until he feels something is finally being done. In San Francisco, I'm Daniel Bodishbaugh with your Urban Nights update.
NFL teams can no longer post videos on social media. According to the new social media policy, players are not allowed to use Facebook Live, Periscope, or any other apps that can stream live in the stadium. If teams violate the policy, they will be fined $20,000 for the first instance. The second time, they can be fined up to $50,000, and the maximum penalty is $100,000. League executives want to make sure content is generated by the team's website so that league maintains control. The NFL has been cracking down lately on their athletes, whether it be on or off the field. Players just can't get a break. But now it seems they aren't only disciplining athletes, but some of your favorite artists too. I go in for more on the issue.
Kanye West has been regarded as one of the most influential artists of this generation. From his innovative hip-hop production to his fashion-forward design, Ye has tried to display his creativity on as much as he can. But now, the NFL has something to say about it. Kanye has taken the fashion world by storm with his Yeezy season collection. His sought-after Yeezys are the staple of his line and are likely a hypebeast's dream shoe. Ye has transformed the shoe now from stylish to performance wear with the Yeezy cleats that have now since been banned by the NFL. The NFL cited a rule which states that cleats must be one dominant base color and fined wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins $6,000 for wearing them in a game.
The NFL banning the Yeezy cleats gives Kanye his Jordan-esque moment, much like how the Air Jordan 1s were banned by the NBA in 1985. But the football community thinks otherwise.
I don't have a problem with the 350 cleats. I kind of don't really understand the problem with 350 cleats. I know about the ruling that most cleats has to be a base color, kind of like one standard color, and it's basically just like that for the little small black spots in there, you know. But for most cleats in a team uniform, usually they're a base color with another color in there anyway. There is no one cleat in the NFL where it's just one color all the way through. And sometimes there are players in the league that wear different color cleats than their uniform. So it's kind of like a weird rule, and I really don't understand it. But, you know, the NFL is the NFL. It's kind of like how they do their own stuff.
I don't have a problem with the 350 cleats. Those are some cool joints right there. Somebody trying to make a statement, trying to bring them to the field that was off the field, and NFL wasn't having that, so yeah, he got that fine.
Although Kanye's cleats aren't up to league standards, Adidas will be looking to get Yeezy back on the field with the Pirate Black Yeezy 350 cleats. Rumored to be released later this year, Kanye is ecstatic about getting back in the NFL. From San Leandro, I am Winton Pettis with your Urban Knights update.
Seems like Yeezy will make his way on the field after all.
Kanye's debut. Seems like Kanye has additional problems. He took to Twitter and announced his $53 million debt. Although he has many fans, reportedly his big investments made in the past have caused him to take drastic measures. We did indeed publicly ask Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg for $1 billion to continue his projects. He also confronted Google's Larry Page about supporting him with funds. Seems that his dream of stepping out into the fashion industry has gotten him into a bind. On the positive side, finally making its way to the stores, Yeezy Season 3 is something fans can't wait to get their hands on. West claims to place his clothes on a market for a lower price, dropping the prices almost 50%. Although the clothes are still pricey, they are still less than the usual prices of the $600 to $5,000 or more. Information on when and where you can get your Yeezy Season 3 has yet to be released.
With the release of the Trump recordings, Twitter has hit him back with millions of women tweeting them their sexual assault horror stories. This tweet expresses the public's view on Trump's comments towards women. Kelly Oxford, who has advanced her career off of Twitter, reached out to women, receiving about 50 tweets per minute. You can search under the hashtag #NotOK, and thousands of responses to Oxford can be tracked. College campuses across the nation are in hot debate about the new Sassy app. The app works as a sexual consent that requires users to read a contract, sign, and submit a photo before any intimate contact. Some concerns about the app are that if people were to sign and then change their mind, it could potentially give enough evidence to exonerate rapists. The creators say it's legally binding, but there has never been a test case.
Tinder's CEO Sean Rad is announcing that his dating app has recently invested in the app Hey Vina, an app that is female-focused in matching friendships through network. This is considered Tinder's second way to connect users who are only seeking friendships. This summer, Tinder Social debuted, which helps groups of people connect for a group hangout or a night out. Many cyber safety experts have announced and warned people of the new dating app which allows users to track their matches through the use of GPS. That's according to Tinder CEO Sean Rad. That app allows users to see where they cross paths with matches through viewing a map as well as the number of times a potential match has been in the area. Happen has been viewed as a more dangerous version than Tinder. As these dating apps grow in popularity, more and more should be aware of the dangers of online dating. This new app may be innovative, but it's no expectation. Vanessa Salas has more on the story.
Every time you cross paths with another person who has downloaded the Happen app, their profile will pop up on your timeline. It will show you how long ago the other person was near you. You can view the number of times you have encountered this person.
I like using the Happen app because you get to know and meet a lot of guys, and I'm dating somebody which I met from there. The first time he approached me was when he sent me a charm, and I found him pretty attractive, and I sent him a charm back, and then we noticed that we were pretty close, so we decided to meet. I wasn't afraid, I was nervous of meeting him. I was afraid of using the app on the first time because I don't know these people, but then within the third date, I was feeling calm and confident about it. I'm not current app user anymore because I found somebody that I'm very attractive to and connected, so I don't feel the point of me keeping on a dating application anymore.
The Happen app lets you locate where other users are located at. Approximately a quarter of a mile from me, about 10 users are using the app right now. Oh, I just got a notification. It looks like someone just passed near me.
Yeah, I think the Happen app is a great idea. If you're looking to meet somebody and you guys are both in the same location, it's a cool way to, be aware of that.
Many app users I came across thought the Happen app is convenient, although Victoria Denembo had something different to say.
I've heard about the Happen app through a friend. She started using the app, similar dating apps like Tinder, Bumble, and all those dating apps. I've also seen it through social media. I've seen it through ads or commercials on TV. Personally, I don't think that's how I would want to meet somebody, because I feel like it's kind of a creepy way if I'm just in the area, and then what if somebody is trying to creep on me or stalk me, but that's just how I feel about it personally.
While some people are still learning about the app, others are continuously dating through the app. In San Francisco, I am Vanessa Salas with Urban Nights Update.
The popular music and social media app Spotify has taken notice of the rise of online dating and has teamed up with Happen to gain more business. It has been stated that users will be able to send songs to their matches and connect over their taste in music. This will give users a new way to reach out to their matches that has never been seen before online in the dating world.
Twitter is making an impact on people's lives, but could it be that it's made too much of an impact? Reporter Beatrice Martinez has more to share with you.
Escaping from the real world, Twitter has become an outlet for people, allowing them to relieve stress, venting about daily actions and thoughts. Uchenna Okanim believes he wouldn't mind long tweets if they were actually meaningful.
I think Twitter is definitely not useful sometimes. I think that when people voice their opinions on certain topics, you have certain people that just don't take it seriously and say stupid stuff. And it's just you can't stop them because they have their own right to say whatever they want on the app.
Elizabeth Colley, a Twitter user, believes Twitter has helped her in ways you couldn't even imagine. For instance, an average person tweets 5 times a day, while Elizabeth tweets 20 times a day.
I'm a very closed person, so Twitter opens me up, Sometimes I'm not sure whether I can tell my friends certain situations, and releasing it on Twitter, I get such good feedback, retweets, more followers, girls be like, yeah, I understand your situation, and it makes me feel good about myself.
You don't always know the things Twitter can really do to help some people, but what you just don't always realize is how the overuse affects those around them.
Jennifer Soto, the best friend of Elizabeth, is the #1 witness of her Twitter overload.
I feel like Liz is always on Twitter because it's a way for her to vent. As towards having to speak and deal with people physically, Twitter gives you the opportunity to express your feelings, how you're feeling, or say whatever you want and get feedback on it, but in a different tone of language. when Liz is always on Twitter and doesn't talk back when I'm trying to speak to her, it does get annoying, but you learn to get like used to it around her because, I don't know, I feel like it's part of her, so I let her be.
In San Francisco, I'm Beatrice Martinez for Urban Knights Update.
It appears that more and more people are becoming addicted to social media, to the point where are now support groups available for those who want to break the habit. With tech playing such a huge role in today's society, we have the inside scoop for those of you interested in using it to your advantage. Linda Camacho's guests may have the information you're craving.
Sitting here with Ed Thomas, a data processing engineer for one of my favorite networks, CBS Interactive. Welcome to the show, Ed.
Well, thank you. Great to be here.
So I have to ask you, what exactly are your responsibilities as a data engineer?
Well, most of my job is related to CBS products. One is CBS All Access, which is a new Netflix type of subscription where people can sign up for a month and get access to all their great CBS shows. And my job is basically to make sure that product's working, and then we're able to track viewership.
Nice. So what certifications do you need in order to do your job?
Well, with my job, you don't really need any certifications per se. It helps to have some certifications from Adobe in implementing their analytics solution, so processing role engineer. But it's mostly hands-on, so it's based on skill, and if you could do the job, then they don't really care about certifications.
So as job, like your experience, so you have created websites before, and you're very in touch with like the adware of a Microsoft and stuff like that, correct?
Yeah, that's right. We have a tag manager, which is how we implement certain tags on the site. So say they want to track conversions from a Facebook ad, it helps to know the tag manager tool, and it helps to know some of the web technologies. So that's always a big plus to have that kind of knowledge.
Right, definitely. So what would you say is the difference between a data engineer and a data scientist?
I would say data engineer is more hands-on, where we're working with like code and working with tags on the site, or working with things within the app, whereas a scientist is more of does more theoretical stuff, so looks at the work processes and the data processes between all the, behind all the products, and then makes high-level decisions based on workflow and optimization.
So Ed, what advice would you give to a student who was interested in pursuing a job in data engineering?
Great question. I would tell them just always be willing to learn, and learning new technologies. Technology changes really fast, so what you learn today might be different than what you need to learn for tomorrow. So always have a willingness to learn, and just stay agile with like your learning and everything else.
Well, thank you so much for being here with me today. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Linda. Now let's join Samantha Hing for the latest on sports.
Let's take a look at our Urban Knights are doing. AAU tennis player Tel Lantrop twins and Alma Clara were crowned the regional champion at the Intercollegiate Tennis Association ITA Western Regional Champions. On Saturday, the pair played against Johnson and Schneider from CSULA with an 8-3 victory win. With their victory, they will be heading to the ITA Oracle Cup that will be held in Surprise, Arizona on October 13 to the 16th. The twins talk about their win.
We are really excited for this tournament, and it's fun to play new opponents, as I said before. Playing a lot of doubles right now in practice.
What a great win by our Urban Knights tennis pair. They are featured as this week's Knights of the Week. Now let's move on to more AAU Urban Knights sports. On the 1st of October, AAU men's cross country team had an impressive performance at the Capital Cross Challenge. Graduate student Joshua Thornton was named Pacific Conference Runner of the Week, and Marvin Thomas was titled PacWest Freshman of the Week. Thomas turned in a season best 8K time of 25.82 as the 5th contributor to AAU's 6th place team score. Joshua is the 3rd PacWest Runner of the Week this season, and also the 2nd PacWest of Freshman of the Week for Thomas. Watch our AAU cross-country team compete at the Bronco Invitational this Saturday, October 15 at Santa Clara, California. Now for the latest in volleyball, Academy of Arts Urban Knights and Dominican took the volleyball court once more last Tuesday, but this time in Kaiser Pavilion. AAU Urban Knights lost against Dominican Penguins with a final score of 2-3. Senior Melissa Brum led all the players with 23 kills, with freshman Lilika Tiu posted a career high of 56 assists this season. AAU is now 4-10 overall and 2-3 Pac West play. RU's season ends at the month of at the end of this month. That is for this week's Urban Night Sports. Join us again next week.
San Jose will be hosting the NCAA Women's Soccer Final Four. That decision was made after the boycott in North Carolina after the state decided against the protection for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people. The NCAA Council said the NCAA tour name, NTS, and events for all college athlete coaches, administrators, and fans provided an inclusive atmosphere. President Law repealed anti-discrimination protection in North Carolina to honor this commitment challenges. A warning out now about the dangers of cheerleading. ABC's medical reporter Dr. Jennifer Ashton alerts parents about concussions, tumbling, doing backflips, and tossing a person in the air and catching them can leave scars that affect the person internally. Students sometimes do not recognize an internal head injury. Concussions have been an issue in cheerleading, and reports of the fellow student athletes are getting concussions have gone up 100%. Most Olympic medalists are getting a tax break. A new law signed by President Obama on Friday states that the Olympic medalists will be excluded from paying the victory tax on their Olympic cash prize. However, this does not exempt high-profile Olympians who have won many gold medals. Before the law was signed, in some cases, a gold medal would cost the winner more than $1,000 in additional income taxes.
In this week's installment of Entertainment Lately, a lot of great releases this week, including a Netflix exclusive. Netflix has released Luke Cage, starring Mike Coulter as Luke, a regular man from Harlem who has been given the ability to be indestructible and super strength. Cage becomes the neighborhood hero that no one sees coming.
You wear a hoodie in this, and was that a decision by you?
You know, it's not an accident. You know, obviously there's this Trayvon Martin thing that happened, and I think everyone was shaken to the core in America who basically understood that there was a black teen who was killed in his own neighborhood because he was wearing a hoodie, and it was like this guy felt he was a threat. And so there's no question that when Cheo Hodari Coker, who's the creator of our show, and I sat down, it was very important that we make some statements. And I think that all people who wear hoodies are not criminals. All people who wear hoodies are not threats. So we wanted to, we wanted to shake it up a little bit. So it's a symbolic thing,
This weekend, opening up in theaters is Kevin Hart's What Now?, the follow-up to his 2013 stand-up movie, Let Me Explain. Hart takes the stage for his sold-out, record-setting performance at Philadelphia's Lincoln Financial Field to a crowd of 50,000.
The question, what now, is a question that should always be answered. It's a question that you should always continue to roll through and roll out. With me, it's just nonstop. It's a nonstop movement, and that's where the title What Now stems from. That's where it's come from.
Also opening this weekend is Deserto. The film depicts what began as a hopeful journey for a better life that seems well until a gun-toting vigilante takes matters into his own hands at the Mexican and U.S. border.
What are you doing out here, sir? You lost?
Just doing a little hunting. Find him. Welcome to the land of the free.
Desierto, rated R, in theaters October 14th.
Hello, Bay Area. You are in for a treat. This Sunday, the Sunday Streets block parties will begin with locations in the East Bay and right here in San Francisco. Inspired by San Francisco, Berkeley will throw their giant street party on Shattuck Avenue. The street will be car-free for 17 blocks, starting at Haste and ending at Rose Street. People will fill the streets with dancing, skating, music jam sessions, and more. In San Francisco, it kicks off on Mission and Seneca Avenue. For the more sophisticated crowd, the California Academy of Science will be having free admission for San Francisco neighborhoods throughout the month. The free entry will be defined by zip code and will continue on during weekends in the fall and spring. This weekend, free entry will be granted to those that live in Russian and Nob Hill residents, North Beach and Marina residents, and the Richmond District residents. And last but not least, the 10th annual Treasure Island Music Festival will take place on Saturday and Sunday with its brand new location on the Eastern Shore. The festival has a jam-packed 2-day lineup with acts like Ice Cube, Kamaya, Kalila, and James Blake. There will be interactive art installations, silent disco, and of course, the spectacular 60-foot Ferris wheel. You can find tickets at treasureislandfestival.com. More entertainment news tomorrow.
After a tiring day of work, you may just be in the mood to hang out and relax. Or you and your friends may be looking for a great place to get away. Our reporter Na Lee has found some hidden gems in the city that you and your friends can enjoy.
After a long work week, sometimes you just want to hang out and relax on the weekend. Mar Vista Stable made a good choice. This place will surprise to you because you can horseback right down to Ocean Beach through rolling hills and wildflowers, then ride along the beautiful Pacific Ocean. You can with your girlfriend or boyfriend come here to have an unforgettable experience. If horseback riding is not your cup of tea, then you may want to try an actual cup of tea.
People know in San Francisco has a Golden Gate Park. But do you know in the Golden Gate Park has a Japanese tea garden? What all we have to do is enjoy the tea and relax.
The Japanese tea garden has more to offer than just tea. You can enjoy the quiet environment while you look at the beautiful architecture and calming water. But what favorite part does people like?
I think one thing I like about the Japanese tea garden is that it's very peaceful. Very peaceful, and it gives you a lot of time to reflect.
It's a good place for escape from the noisy of the outside world. However, if you are looking for noisy, what better place is there than a karaoke bar? And Akiba is no ordinary karaoke bar.
I'm a consultant at Akiba. Me and the owner created a Japanese pizza that from American thinking and Japanese culture combined.
Well, it's not as peaceful and quiet like horseback riding and a tea garden. Akiba is relaxing in its own way. Even though Akiba is loud, it's somehow still hidden gem. In San Francisco, I'm Na Lee, Urban Nights Update.
Be sure to note that Mar Vista Stable only takes cash and costs $60 an hour. To book a reservation, details are online at marvistastables.com. Looks like a few fun places I might want to check out. That wraps it up for this edition of Urban Nights Update. I'm Anastasia Hansen.
And I'm Winston Pettis. For everyone here, thanks for joining us. See you back next time.